Salutations, my fellow dudes and dudettes, and welcome back to Paper Mario. Last time we wrapped up our little bit of cleanup, got all this, all our little errands situated, beat the master at his finest, at his most, at his final form, so to speak. And now it is time to make our way towards Chapter 8. I'm just showing off the item setup that I've got going on. You might want to leave a bit of empty space because we will come across a number of items in the castle itself. Um, so yeah, the other reason is the fancy feast that I had there. If you get a Whack-A-Bump and a Strange Leaf, the Whack-A-Bump is in Mount Rugged, and the Strange Leaf is right outside of Boo's mansion, and you combine them, you get the Fancy Feast, which heals your 40 HP, heals your HP by 40, and your FP by 40. Very efficient item. Granted, you come off as a monster, because you have to get a Whack-A-Bump, and sadly, I ended up wasting mine a while back. I actually don't remember what I used it on. But anyways, once you're good and ready, you come to Shooting Star Summit, and this little star elevator thing will appear. And I'm just gonna do some basic badge management because we actually got some. Well, actually, I just wanted to switch my power with my defense because I've neglected to do that. Alright, welcome to Star Way. And there's only one new enemy on this path. And it's right here. Ember! HP of 10, attack of 4, and defense of 0. Just like the lava bubbles, they attack you with fire. However, when you deal damage, they separate. But don't be too discouraged. Also, you know, water and ice attacks are more effective. Don't be too discouraged because even though they split up whenever you attack them, they the duplicates they create still retain the amount of damage they took. So for example, you deal 6 damage to one and it splits, it'll have 4 HP left, both the original counterpart and the duplicate it created. So it's not like it can make the battles take forever. Plus, if you're using Sushi, it completely negates them multiplying whenever Sushi attacks with her water-based moves. And I believe the Snowman Doll will also work, but at this point, Snowman Doll is not very effective because it only deals 4 damage to enemies. I believe it would deal maybe 6, so I guess it's a little more effective, but the other thing is, the Embers are the only one enemy that appears on Starway, plus there's not a lot of them, so there's really no reason to put up with them. Make a note of that shop right there, because I believe they have a they sell life shrooms, and I think it's one of the last stores in the game. Well, the last store to sell certain items. Also, I love how like calm and relaxing the music is for these areas. Very nice. But enough about that. It's time to finally meet up with those star spirits so we can make our way to Bowser's Castle. Hey guys, how you doing? Mario, you finally made it. The time has come to take the fight to Bowser's turf. Now, hold still while we 7 join together to bestow upon you our final power. And now you can use Star Beam. This doesn't do anything in battle, this is strictly meant for the final boss. And he also has another gift for us in the form of a ship. Well, I wouldn't call that a gift necessarily. It's the only way we can get up to the castle because they're kind of flying high in the sky. Well, it's sort of hovering. I gotta wonder what's keeping it afloat, though. Oh, wait. I think it's the Starrot's power, actually. Alright, well, enough about that. It's time to make our way to Bowser's Castle. If there is anything... if there is any unintended things that you still need to do it now. I do believe you can come back, but there's really no reason for you to. And especially in this case, because Bowser's Castle is the longest area in the game. And once you get a good distance into the area, into the chapter, it's going to be a real slog to go back. So do what you can now, because once you're a good ways into the castle, it's going to be one heck of a journey to backtrack. For instance, like if you want to wait to fight the master until like before the final boss, you literally have to go. You would literally have to backtrack. Also, this boy, also the Toad's wishing for shroom cake. He's so fat. But yeah, if you like want to wait to fight the master until like right before the final boss, you literally have to backtrack through the entire chapter to go to Toad Town, and then you would have to go. Then you would have to trek back all the way to where you were at. Gee, I wonder who the boss is of this chapter. But yeah, at this point, for me at least, this will be a point of no return. I have no intentions of going back to Toad Town for anything. Once I'm here, that's it. And this is quite a sinister theme, I gotta say. It's very fitting considering where we're at. And now we also have some new enemies. Koopa Trolls. They have an HP of 8, an attack of 4, and defense of 3. They can call in reinforcements when their HP gets low, and they can also charge their attack power. When they do this, their attack power becomes 10. Now, the interesting about the Koopa Trolls is that you could have actually encountered them all the way as early as Chapter 4. Because, during the Peach segment, Bowser asks you some questions as to what Mario's weaknesses are. If you chose the more unfavorable options, you would encounter two specific enemies that you're going to be encountering throughout Bowser's Castle much sooner. You'll gain a hefty amount of star points from that battle because you're fighting them earlier than intended, but still. So, and that's like the major reason why I held off on doing fighting the enemies, as well as showing their like giving their information, because you only fight them once. You only fight the Koopa Troll once in Chapter 4, so I didn't feel it was necessary to go over it, because we're going to fight a whole bunch of them in this chapter. So the information would be a lot more useful to you. Plus, if I told you about them all the way in Chapter 4, you may or may not forget what they do in Chapter 8, and I might have to remind you. Not saying you won't forget, but it's like, everyone has a different, like, everyone remembers things differently. Anyway, we got Hammer Bros, the other enemy you could have encountered in Chapter 4. They have an HP of 12, an attack of 5, and a defense of 1. They don't seem as deadly as Koopa Trolls at first glance, but trust me, they can be very irritating, because simple hammer attacks is one thing. They can actually throw a barrage of hammers at you, and that can take a lot of damage. That can take a lot of health out of you. Each hammer throw is only 1 damage when they do this, but like, it's so hard to guard against them. Like here. Like, I think it deals up to like 5 or 6 damage. And like, unless if you're really good with your timing, you're gonna take all that damage. Plus, since I have the defense badge on, it actually would have been 2 damage a pop, so I think you would have been taking like 10 damage total, which could really hurt if you can't guard against it. It's my job to keep suspicious types from entering. It's a talking door. I feel like I've seen this before. You want to get through the other side of this wall, right? Okay then, stand in front of me. I don't know what's so funny. Are you standing squarely in front of me? Okay then, I'll let you go through. Law, nope. See you next fall. You fell for it, worm. You'll never escape from that impenetrable prison. Try all you like. All you'll do is exhaust yourself. I'll tell you what. If you make it back up here, I'll let you go through. How's that? I know you'll never make it. I hope you have a good time shaking and crying down there. You can talk to all the toads in the prison, but they don't really do anything. Actually, if you remember the first Koopa Patrol we fought, there was actually a jail cell right there, right behind them. We're actually in that jail cell right now. They're much easier than the walls of Koopa Bros Fortress. You're really lucky you have me along, aren't you? Now, basically, Bombette gave you the impression that you're actually going to be using all your party members in this area, if not just about all of them. I think the only exception to that is actually Cooper and Goombario. You use Goombario in case you get stuck, and I don't think Cooper needs to be used for anything, necessarily. I think there are certain switches you can hit with him. Yeah, you can actually use him here if you really wanted to. But you could also use Loculester. I don't think it really matters in the grand scheme of things because you'll do it because, like, it won't change the fact it'll take you a bit to get past this area because, gotta say, not a fan of this part of the castle because things are very slow. You got these really slow platforms moving across all this lava. It's real annoying. Also, take a note of Spike when you're moving across the lava. He's clearly not happy about it. Neither is his cloud friend. I wonder if his cloud friend has a name. Also, pay no mind to that hole in the wall. We're not going to be going over there for a little bit. For good reason. There's, like, if you enter the room, there'll be a platform you can't reach without, like, having to actively jump up there, and since we're above lava, that's no good. Now you gotta use Paracarry to fly across these gaps. Don't try and overestimate the distance, because sometimes, like, if the platforms are really small, but the gap is really short, you can accidentally have Paracarry carry you over too much distance. But I do believe you can press the action button to cancel and immediately just drop off. That bag over there is called the mystery item. I'm not going to be using it because I'm not a fan of chance in a game like this. Unless if the curse is implemented, which, by the way, I actually did not replenish the curse before I got here, so unfortunately I can't benefit from it anymore. Because I've done everything I needed to. I don't feel the need to go back to Toad Town, as I mentioned at the beginning of this part. So yeah, that kind of stinks. But anyways, the mystery. It'll basically give you a random item, and by random item I mean it will give you the effects of that item. So for example, you'll have a little, like, slot reel. And if it lands on, say, a Super Shroom, you'll immediately get the benefits. You'll heal 10 HP. Assuming you've taken any damage. If not, then, you know, it's kind of a waste. And I'd rather not use that. I'd rather have my inventory be filled with items that I know I can get an immediate benefit from. Like the healing items and the shooting stars. I know what's going to happen when I use these. That's good enough for me. I'd rather not take the chance with an item in which I don't know what's going to happen, because it could benefit me. It could just be a waste of the item slot. I could end up just wasting my time with the item. Like, it could give me a benefit that I can't really use. Anyways, I'm done ranting. Magic Koopas. They have an HP of 11, an attack power of 6, and a defense of 0. I think. I actually have my information on the backlog just in case, but yeah, I was right. Yeah. Also, that is the Mega Bomb. It destroys all the enemies. Don't get too excited about it, because it's my least favorite power up to use in the game, because yeah, it attacks all the enemies, but it's just as powerful as the Power Bomb, which attacks all ground enemies, and you should have more than enough of options for aerial enemies. So I think it's just a waste, and plus the amount of FP that's used, I believe, is 8 or 9. It's way too... It consumes FP way too much. But anyways, back to the Magic Koopas. Every Magic Koopa that you have seen up to this point, like the green, yellow, red, white, and black ones, these Magic Koopas can do everything that they can. They can increase attack power, defense, make them